Now let's put all this into perspective. And joining me is a security consultant, Dr. Ona Ekomo. Thanks a lot for joining us on the news at 10.
Thank you, Mrs. Joma.
Now, some are calling this move long overdue. Is this something you've been waiting to see as well?
Well, anytime you have a situation where there is a widespread abuse of rights, torture, getting called out by the international community on police brutality, police excesses, you're going to need to have some of reforms of this nature, because reforms are an organization's way of improving itself, improving its process activities, improving its service delivery to members of the public. So this is really a very welcome development by the presidency, by Mr. Acting President in this instance, and trying to stop something that has given Nigeria a very bad name throughout the international community, and also at home here, because people are really not happy that members of SARS are behaving as if they are above the law.
But there's a new command line now under the new order, and then all SARS operations in the states will now be under the control of federal SARS. We've got 36 states. Are we saying that there was nothing good any of the, the operations in the states were doing? Is it a case of throwing away the baby with the bathwater?
Very close to that. I think what happened in the old order, we had the federal SARS and we had the state SARS. Now, the overhaul, which the IGP has carried out within 24 hours, and I think that is too quick. That's more like a knee-jerk reaction. The overhaul he has carried out is that he has scrapped the state SARS, and he has now emplaced federal SARS in states. Now, what that means is that SARS will now be a unitary organization reporting all the way into Abuja. That's to an already overburdened office of the IG, if you may ask me.
Yes, I was going to about to say that. Yeah, what sort of logistics?
I think it should have been the other way. There should be even more decentralization, more devolution than, going in the direction of centralization. So I think there's a mistake in the reform in that respect. But now, in terms of the goals of the reform, because they're going to carry ID cards, they're going to be more identifiable as police officers, police personnel. They're going to respect human rights. I think those are all very welcome. But I think the way we are going about the reform is going to be problematic in terms of implementation. Now, one last thing is that moving it from FCID, that's the investigations unit, to operations, in fact, is, I believe, probably a mistake also. Because FCID, you have investigative access, investigative capabilities. Now, in fact, the mandate that was given by the presidency is that SARS should be intelligence leading. Intelligence does not run in ops. Intelligence runs as a corollary of investigations. So one thing they need to do quickly is reopen the federal intelligence school in Enugu, so that we can now turn out more intelligence assets from the police agency.
Okay, let me just ask you this quickly. Can I draw your attention to the statement by the Inspector General of Police talking about medical evaluation of all federal SARS operatives to be carried out? Is that standard procedure, or is this an extra measure given all the reports of the abuse that have been coming in? Just to clarify that, the psychological evaluation that they're supposed to carry out.
Well, I think it was President Obasanjo who said while he was president that all police personnel really need to be examined medically, psychologically also, to determine their mental health. Now, policing is a very stressful job. It's not normal to go out there every day and you are dealing with the worst part of humanity. People being killed, people being raped, people being dismembered. The other day in Ibadan here, they discovered a shrine where herbalists were cutting off people's heads. That is the lowest form of humanity. So police personnel, they take all of this home with them. So in fact, they are really under a lot of stress. At times, life mimics art. They now become the monsters they are chasing after. Now, let's put that aside. This should be standard procedure for all policing personnel. Before you enter the agency, you must be examined medically and psychologically, whether you are a cuckoo or not. Because imagine giving a guy a gun who is not sound you know, he'll go out there and commit mayhem. So I think this is good, at least at this level. We take whatever good we get. We appreciate the IG for introducing a medical examination for SARS personnel. But I think it should go throughout the police agency because they all need it.
All right, so quickly now, Amnesty International have reacted already, saying that these reforms should extend to bringing to justice officers that are found guilty of committing atrocities. Do you agree with that? And can this not be handled by the disciplinary processes that the forces have in place already?
Yes, and I think, well, first of all, AI has a thing in for Nigeria. AI is always bashing Nigeria and Nigerians, Nigerian police, Nigerian military. So I have a problem with AI and their judgment. It's jaundiced. That's my problem with them. But having said that, we also agree as a Nigerian and as a user of police services, I agree that the police, particularly the police agency as an organization, and particularly SARS, tends to be high-handed and perhaps even brutal and brutish in its activities, in its operations. Now, maybe it's responding to kind of criminals we have in Nigeria who tend to be quite hardened and quite bloodthirsty also, as it were. So, you know, sometimes it takes a thief to catch one. Now, having said that, Eugene Vidocq, somewhere in France, the guy who started Sûreté in Paris. But having said that, the point here is we need to set up institutional framework for examining police activities. It must be institutionalized. So what do I mean by that? You can put up an internal affairs department, AID, that will look at every projectile encounter, any shooting encounter, any encounter that involves the discharge of firearms by police personnel. It's a projectile encounter. And that should come under review every time so that you can stop this needless life of human lives and perhaps excessive torture that is giving Nigeria police and particularly SARS in this case a bad name. So I think the two things I want to give as a takeaway, we need to look again at that centralization is a problem.
All right. Thank you so much, security consultant Dr. Ona Ekomu. Thanks a lot for joining us on the news at 10 tonight with your views. Thank you.